Hey, in this video I'll be showing you how to make a no-knead, very simple, gluten-free bread. Let's do it. So for this recipe you will need gluten-free flour. I used spelt flour here, some yeast, instant yeast, salt, oil. I added some nuts. If you have other flours that you want to use like chestnut or rye or corn or whatever, feel free. So first what we're gonna do is tar, and we'll measure 500 grams, 500 on the dough. Take our yeast, and this we don't need very much, like half a teaspoon is fine really. It's gonna ferment overnight. You want to make sure it ferments long enough. Next we're gonna put a teaspoon of salt. We're gonna add a good glog of oil. Here I used nut oil. Let's do the nuts. I'm using almonds today, so I'll put about a handful, a bit more, and pulse that. Here we have our nuts. We're looking for a coarse ground. We'll mix that in. And next what we're gonna do is simply put 400 mils of water. You can use starter. If you have some starter, you can subtract say about 100 mils or 150 mils, and so you'd have to put less water. So here we're gonna mix it, incorporate the water nicely into our dough. So we're gonna work it a tiny bit with our spoon, the back of the spoon. Make sure there's no like dry clumps. So here the water is getting incorporated. I think this flour is a bit more coarse than the one I bought last time, and so that's why I soaked up the water a bit more. You can tell it's coarse. It's got all this fiber, but I think this is pretty good. So I just worked it a little bit with the spoon. I didn't put it out on the counter. I didn't knead it because we're gonna cover it, and we're gonna let it rest like that overnight.
So we're the next day. It's 8 in the morning, and I just turned on the oven to 230 degrees Celsius. Yep. So we're gonna check the dough. So you see it's bubbly, nicely fermented. A pan, and I'm gonna line it with a parchment paper. Simply gonna scoop the dough inside. Try not to break the bubbles too much. And you see it's fairly liquidy. It's like very thick paint or cement. We have our loaf in there. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cover it again, and we're gonna let it rise a bit longer, and then once the oven is ready we'll put it in.
Alright, so it's been about an hour. As you can see, it's risen a little bit. Not as much as I wanted to, but it's getting hot out there, so I am gonna stick it in the oven. So it's gonna stay in there for 10 minutes at 230, and then I will drop it at around 200 for 30 minutes, so 40 minutes total. Okay, so I pulled out the bread of the oven, let it rest for a few hours. Here it is. Not the best bread I've made. It's a bit dense, not quite as leavened as I want it to be, and also the oven maybe wasn't hot enough when I put it in. The color is not as dark, and it didn't rise quite as much as I wanted to. But let's see. Let's cut a few slices. So still a nice crumb. Smells really good, nice and moist and soft. Taste test. Pretty good overall. Nice and moist, chewy. Maybe could use a little bit more salt. Pretty good. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you want more videos on recipes and little tricks, let me know.